Hello YouTube and welcome back to the Drunken Kobold. Today I am doing a follow-up video on my thoughts of Warlock in 2022 video, which I put out last week. I posted my thoughts publicly in a text forum on Facebook, and I got a reply from Justin Zyran, the president of WizKids. He laid out a lot of things that I will be discussing in this video, and then we had a private conversation where I was able to give my thoughts and feedback on Warlock and WizKids miniatures privately. And so I want to share the public reply from Justin regarding Warlock tiles and miniatures. Because I feel like that I know is safe to be put out in public. So without further ado, let's hop into this. So I posted a text summary in the D&D Creative Table Designs page. If you are looking for inspiration for your D&D tabletops, I say look no further than here. Some of the best creative minds in D&D work on this page and post things on this page, so there is never a shortage of things to be found here. So anyway, I posted the summary of the thoughts of Warlock in 2022 here. And Justin Zyran replied, "My name is Justin. I am the president of WizKids. First off, thank you for the thoughtful, direct, and constructive criticism. You presented the issues in as neutral a tone as could be expected given your frustration, and I really appreciate it. Allowing us to see and hear the concerns that gives us a shot at making it right or explaining the situation. So with that, here we go. And heads up, it is a very, very long reply, and I'm going to be breaking it down on this. So, 1. Please send me a PM with details of your orders. I'd like to hear about them in detail and see if there are crossed wires at friendly local game stores, distribution, or with our communications teams. Done. Sent him that information. 2. Encounters in a box and battle mats. We have moved the release dates on these products several times, mainly due to COVID shutdown related issues. I realize life in many countries has begun to return to normal, but in our manufacturing world, we are continuing to deal with so many COVID related supply chain issues. I don't have specific data, but we're operating at about 75% of our pre-COVID efficiency. That takes into account supply chain issues, domestic and international, quarantine issues in China, cost issues with shipping in the US, and labor shortages around the world and even at WizKids. We planned well and did very well during the pandemic, but many stores, distributors, and major players in the value chain are struggling with cash flow and labor issues. We're doing the best under these very strange circumstances. Keep in mind that from concept to delivery, a Warlock set takes about 14 months to deliver. Most plastic products take about this long in large quantity. So, supply chain issues, I get it. I'm still seeing supply chain issues at my job, where things that were in abundance pre-COVID are now in shortage. You know, they're backlogged, customers are frustrated. I get it, 100%. Labor shortages, we feel that. Labor shortages are in every business. It's unavoidable at this point, and again, I feel you. What I did not know is that a Warlock set takes over a year from concept to being on the shelves. So when you think about it, Warlock tiles, when they first came out, they were starting to come out in fourth and third quarter of that year, that they were previewed in July at Free RPG Day. So that is pretty impressive to know that, like, up until Free RPG Day, there was a lot going on behind the scenes for Warlock tiles. By example, during COVID, stores focused on blue chip releases. So these are their primary releases that, you know, make them the most money. MTG, D&D books, Pokemon sports cards, top related board games. Demand for those products, they skyrocketed. Secondary or support products, they went through a lot of adjustments. For example, Warlock saw a move from being a store-bought brand to something that's sold equally at game stores and online. He explained some of the adjustments that they did with that. A lot of those adjustments were very expensive, and that is why we also saw a cost increase on Warlock tiles. But they did what they could to try and make sure that this product was getting to the consumer, and I have to say, I applaud these efforts. But I'm not going to read all that because, again, it's a lot. What is going on with Warlock sets? Warlock is very much alive and well. Good to know. We haven't been as communicative on our plans as we would have liked. Much of that was due to the constant ever-changing landscape of our business. Not just tiles, but D&D, Critical Role, Paizo, Marvel, D&D, Star Trek, etc., etc. So like Star Trek, they have the Attack Wing stuff. Marvel and DC, they have the Hero Clicks. Paizo, they have Deep Cuts and Pathfinder Battles. Critical Role has their own line of miniatures now. D&D has so many lines of miniatures. So there is a lot going on at WizKids. The post-pandemic world is very different than the pre-pandemic world. How much people buy, when do they buy it, where do they buy it, and how long does it take to make the product. We are all in uncharted territory. It's the most complex business environment I have ever worked in. For context, Justin has worked at Wizards of the Coast. He's worked for Upper Deck. He's worked for WizKids. This guy has been around the block. He's seen some shit. So the fact that this is the most complex business environment he's ever worked in, that says a lot. And you know what? How much people buy and when they buy it, inflation's at its highest. Cost of living is absolutely ridiculous. We don't have the disposable income to be buying as much of our hobby products as we would like. And when we do buy hobby products, we're buying stuff that is core to the game, rule books, things that we need to play the game versus support products like Warlock. So that makes sense there. The good news is that the sewer set was largely done and had already had tooling cut for the release. We spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on setup costs before we even make one set. And I'm not exaggerating on these costs. We had a set sent to us for some scenario testing and even shared that set with Todd P., our glorious group leader. Todd Michael Putnam. He has some of the best builds. He's been featured on Bell of Souls. Many different gaming companies have reviewed some of his setups. This is his Instagram here. It's not letting me view without signing in, so whatever. Anyway, so he sent the sewer set to Todd, and he's glad that they did because they found some shortcomings and have been busy at work redesigning some of the problematic pieces and adjusting some of the choices they came up with. So one, sewer sets confirmed. When will they come out? Not 100% sure. It doesn't say here, but I am glad to know that we have a sewer set coming because that will go good with the Town and Village Road set that we got, I think, 2 years ago now. Why didn't we just release it? That's a complicated answer, but I'll try to keep it short. Well, nothing is kept short here, but that's okay. Warlock tiles are designed to be a great value while maintaining high utility. Some of our recent sets, while good, had some areas for improvement. By example, cavern floor tiles could have been double-sided. Yes. Likewise, perhaps they could have taken more time to find a material that was less slippery and avoided sliding issues when cavern floors were stacked. Yes. All perfect. We could have spent more time with surveying the customers about color preferences, browns versus grays, etc., etc. There was a lot of issues with the cavern tiles. I have my cavern tiles set. I am looking forward to actually posting the review on that, but he's spot on with a lot of these things here. And yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. I didn't want the sewer set to have any issues, so much as we could anticipate every use case. Fortunately, we caught a few things we want to fix, and that should make for a better product. Unfortunately, that means we have to retool some of the product, and that will take more time and money. In the end, it will leave us with a better product, and I think that's worth it. So I have to say thank you for that, putting care into your future products that felt lacking on the Caverns thing, on the Caverns set. I am glad that we're not going to have a repeat of that, and that puts a little bit more of my faith back into the brand, and I am glad for that. Sewers are in development, and it's going to take some time to get them here. Once sewers are on autopilot, our attention will turn to a few more projects, more buildings. So hopefully we'll get some full height walls of the curves and angles set and the 1-inch sets, a runed version of our tower. So I'm not sure if that is the tower that I reviewed here about a year ago, or if it is a different tower, or the tower that is on D&D Mini right now. Not 100% sure about that, but that means we do have a runed tower coming. And ultimately, an affordable, flexible, high-utility wilderness set. Thank you. That was one of the things that I had actually just said in my previous video, is that we need more stuff for the wilds to put out into like foliage, trees, shrubs, and everything like that to set up wilderness settings. So hopefully that is what he's hinting at there when he says wilderness set. Or hopefully we get a few different sets for the wilderness that can set up a variety, like, forests, deserts, etc. In parallel, we are looking at a dedicated Warlock e-commerce store. Whoa, okay. So this isn't just a place to find all the Warlock sets, but also an a la carte store where you can buy smaller bundles of just the pieces you want. 4-inch by 4-inch tiles, a pack of interior doors, 4 long hallways, 22 by 2s, etc. That is amazing, and I see myself spending way too much money at this Warlock e-commerce store. Think Lego store bulk pieces bin. Believe it or not, this is also complicated. With labor rates climbing and shipping costs at an all-time highs, pricing these a la carte bundles is very challenging. We'll likely start testing the obvious bundles on shopwizkids.com in the near future. So that's where you can currently get everything, like I showed in my previous video. He gives some options into what I could do in the meantime, like with 3D printing, some of his support for 3D printing. But he says, as I mentioned, we sell Warlock at both your friendly local game store and online. When possible, I always encourage you to buy local. I love buying local. 2 of the game stores I support are Dragon World, also Little Dragon Corp as like a sister company to Dragon World, and the Game Shelf here in Thunder Bay. So those are 2 companies I love to support and will continue to support until the death of me. I grew up with a great game store, made many friends at the local game store, and I am dedicated to making products usually relegated to Kickstarter and DIY for those stores. However, the landscape has changed a bit, and as stores closed their doors, we were compelled to make the product available online via Amazon. I said it before, I'll say it again. Avoid Amazon like the plague. Game stores can't even buy the stuff for the prices that Amazon sells it at. Like, there's no way to compete with Amazon, so please do support your friendly local game stores, because Amazon does not give you a place to play. Warlock is one of our top performing categories on Amazon, and you should expect full line support via Amazon shortly, if not already. I'm Canadian, so Amazon.ca does not have full line support yet. I haven't checked Amazon.com. I empathize with you on your frustration and hope you send me a message so we can chat. I did. We had a great conversation. My faith in WizKids and Warlock has been restored. I'm very excited to see what's coming. I hope the long-winded, meandering write-up above provides some transparency with the challenges we and many other game companies are navigating. Thank you again for the actionable comments, and I look forward to hearing from you in PM. May you always roll crits, Justin Zyran. P.S. Sorry for the long post. I typed this up on my phone and will make sure it's clear once I get to a desktop computer. So I just want to say thank you, Justin, for your thorough reply and your conversation afterwards. I am really excited to see what WizKids has to offer for upcoming Warlock sets. Knowing that there's a sewer, a wilderness, a new tower coming out has me like super pumped, and I cannot wait to see them. One thing that Justin did not comment on is whether or not Encounter in a Box is canceled, indefinitely delayed, or what the deal on that is. I didn't press the issue because I'm assuming that, he doesn't want to put, definitives out and then not be able to back those definitives up. So I appreciate that. I appreciate, the challenges that WizKids is facing when putting out these products. But no, like I said, after the reply in our private conversation, I am very excited to see what Warlock has coming. I hope you guys are excited too. Sorry that this is such a long video, but it was a very long reply. Hope you enjoyed it, and cheers, and may your rolls be with you.